Good morning. Welcome back to Gulfstream Park today. 10 race card. Um, I don't know. It's not too bad. I mean, opinions. I think I got a couple horses that I like, but they look a little bit straightforward in some of these races. Race one about to go. If I'll post a little grid like I did last week. I'll throw it out after we get through the video here. But not too bad. I think I'd say press your opinion today on this card because I don't think you really have to go super deep in a lot of legs. Would be my opinion, and I think you can find the right price. And there's a couple horses I like at an okay price. First race, they're loading. I 173 here. I actually liked the 4 as a long shot that scratched. It does leave kind of loose cheap speed with the 5 on the Tapita here. So I think from that perspective, the 137 are going to sit the trip here. The 7 at 72 is not bad value. I had that as my second pick, but I was 173 in the first race. Narrower in other legs. I don't think you have to play anything expensive if you were wanting to play the early pick 4, pick 5, and again pick 5 about to go. Sorry, I just didn't get a chance this morning to get on right before first post, but we'll go through the rest of the card here in a second. And if you just joined us, I'll put out a little paper grid. I do one every day. I don't mind sharing it. People have asked for it now, so we will I'll tweet that out here in a second, or if you're on YouTube, I'll post it over there as well. But Magneto, the 3 horse here in the first leg, is big chalk, but this horse does not have to win. I thought the 1 and 7 both had a shot. So let's go to we'll go to race 2, and if you're watching, I know they're about to go. I thought this was a tough maiden claimer on the turf, mainly because there's no work videos. I mean, you have some firsters here in race 2. You got some horses that have won a race or 2 races. So it was kind of a toss up in the second race, but I was 1-2-4. So I mean, the 3 or 5 could win, yes. But again, in a race like that, it was tough for me. I just really had no opinion. Here in the first race, it looks like the 1 got to the lead. Here, we'll go back, watch the race in here for a second. But the 1 was kind of expected. The 5 was going to look like cheap speed. So the 1 could be dangerous here. Again, I didn't think the 3 ended up going off as even money and kind of sitting to the insides, Magneto. But up front is Captcha on the lead, followed by 5. My Foolish Notion running in second. Then down on the rail, Magneto, the favorite. I'm going to try to kind of sit stock. We talked about Tapstick. Went off at 3-1. I thought was a great price. Seeing a good trip to the outside. Now starting to close in, but up front, Captcha on the lead actually increases the lead here. Now up by about a length and a half. Running in second is Magneto, who's going to go right to the outside. It looks like in way 4 wide is Tapstick. My Foolish Notion backing up a little bit. Tapstick on the outside, but up front, Captcha on the lead. Magneto, the favorite, running second, just takes over, but Tapstick to the far outside. Number 7 going to try to get there versus Magneto, and looks like Tapstick going to get up at 3-1. Nice price there in the first. You get 3-1. But all right, let's keep rolling and we'll get through this quickly. I talked race 2 real quick before we called that race, but I don't know, just a wide open maiden claimer. Yeah, honestly, like there's no work videos, no nothing. You got some first. All these horses look very similar to me. Ready to Rage is the second timer for Carlos David. Miguel Vasquez rides. I put this horse third, but I like 1 and 2 at a price maybe. Race 3, you have Kopesh. You got Full Nelson, who's going to be a big chalk, and Never Say Never. I put Full Nelson on top. Do I trust this horse? Kind of. Big win percent. Wins the race in fairly easily. I mean, is on the drop here, right? I mean, drops, burn money in back-to-back efforts, but is dropping, right? So, I mean, this horse fits. It can easily beat this group, honestly. But Kopesh, I think, can be right there for Mr. Jose D'Angelo, for sure. And then you have 7, Never Say Never here. So, definitely a player. In race 4, I think Goddess of Beauty I put on top. I was 5-3-1. In the McGuet runner, the 6 might run here. He can be dangerous with 2 fillies. I didn't see a lot on that one, but again, it's another maiden, kind of a wide open race. We don't have a lot of info, but the 5 second time out is dropping to an easier maiden special weight group. I put that one on top, but and I think you definitely could play narrow again. If you're playing the pick 4 now, you can play really cheap tickets. You could even play them a couple times, and you might be able to get kind of a nice price in the next couple races. But I do think Goddess of Beauty is probably the one to beat here. It moves over to the Tapeta. If you're an E user, you can see my analysis in here, and then in other tracks as well. Anytime you see those orangish dots, some amount of analysis on a horse, but ran well on debut for Orsino. Now Miguel rides, jumps aboard. Sammy Camacho does not have a lot of mounts today, and then you have Diego Herrera is not here, so I'm not sure. I didn't hear yet what happened, or maybe he's tied with Sammy for the jock lead. But you look, Sammy rode last out, but now Miguel rides, totally live here, 100%. Second time out. It's just not that great of a group, but the 3 looks like might be a runner for D'Angelo for sure. And then American Rain for Carlos David, second time out. Raheem rides back. Source, might be a little bit in the mix. So 5-3-1-6 maybe. I really I kind of like 2 horses here. Azan Magnetic Beach on top. I think we'll sit a really good trip. Give me some luck. I put second. I don't necessarily trust this horse on the lead on the Tapeta. I think there's enough speed from Answer the Call, who I don't really like, because I think that horse might need the lead, but I do think this race could really set up for Magnetic Beach on the Tapeta. I think that it could come back to her, and she could sit just a dream trip off the pace. Has the strongest genetic strength rating on the Tapeta here. You can see closing with the double blue arrow, and I think could close into the speed here. But I was 3-1 and then 2-5. But if we look at Magnetic Beach, claimed last out for Rohan, Mr. Thomas rides. They do great as a duo, hitting at 23%. You can see in this effort back here versus 52 back in January, 100% live, fits big time. And then one last out versus 50 strength of race. So has really improved in both these recent efforts. Got the win last out. Now Rohan does just fine off the claim. 7 of his last 14. Absolutely dangerous. I think this horse can sit the trip. But the 1 could wire the field. Don't get me wrong. But I'm a little bit against the speed here and think it might come back. I like the daily double out of this race. Magnetic Beach, and then into race 6, I'm on Gold Pearl. Look at the 3-2 morning line with the scratch. I know a lot of people think there might be a lot of speed here, but I think Gold Pearl for Mr. Safi Joseph, easily leading trainer. Edwin Gonzalez rides great from the gate, great on the grass, great on the lead. I think this runs them off their feet. As I mentioned, like the daily double. I do like the exacta here. I think underneath and even a try maybe, you have 5-7-2 underneath, maybe the 6 over the 5-7. I don't like Goes Light at all, but I think I do think you could see a little bit of a price underneath, maybe the 5 horse. But I was 6 over the 5 for an exacta. Maybe the 7 as well, 6 over the 5-7. The odds on the 6, I don't think we're going to get a great price. I think that horse is going to get bet down to the E-morning lines, one of the best I've ever seen. Great algorithm. You're probably getting 2-1. Honestly, I think the Safi horse is going to take a lot of money, but I think Edwin G won 2 in a row versus easier, but they get to the turf. This horse won by combined lengths in the last 2 efforts. Safi knows where to put him. Is in for the claim today. It's an allowance optional claim. It's a Ramsey horse, but I think just runs it off their feet. I think it's faster than the other speed. The race sim shows it. I like when horses extend their lead on the race sim from the first to the second call. So at the first call has about a length and a half, and at the second call, nearly 2.5 lengths over this group. Shows on the race sim wires the field, runs them off their feet. That'd probably be my best bet of the day. I like 3 in the last race, so that's why I like the daily double there. I think you get a good price. Race 7, I think Lucy's Cookie I put on top has a big shot here. I know that Boya Paloma is definitely a player. I have that horse second. I was 4, 1, 2, 7. Put the 7 on the sheet. The 7 could run them off their feet. You're going to get a good price. Has a big pace number. You can see the win percent show this race is wide open. They're sprinting 5.5 on the Tapeta. But I do think Lucy's Cookies could sit a really good trip off that speed. Boya Paloma as well. I'm against the favorite, the 6 Musical Design, 5-2. I'm not totally sure why this horse is the favorite. It's, hasn't been able to win. Doesn't necessarily like to win in recent efforts for Jackson. I like when Jackson uses Miguel Vasquez. They much better combo than with Morelos. You look Morelos and Jackson. I mean, 19%. But if we go to Lucy's Cookie, has not been able to win, but has shown some ability to stalk the pace, gets back to 5.5, which is the key. Has been sprinting 5, now gets 5.5. There'll be some pace to chase. And then Boya Paloma, the top genetic strength rating. That horse fits as well for Victor Barbosa. And the Pedro Pena and Prentice rating outstanding right now. Watch him's winning on prices, but really could sit the trip from the rail as well. So 4, 1, 2, 7 there. If we go to race 8, I don't know. I mean, I put the 4 on top, Roki. Anybody can win this race. I mean, it's just a short field. They all fit, but none of them I love. But I was 4-1. Take the picks. XY Speed would be my third pick. I mean, it's only a 5-horse field. I don't think the 5 can win, but the other 4. But 4, 1, 2, not strong opinion, honestly. You'll see on the race sim, they're all within a length, essentially. So, I mean, it's kind of a toss-up. They all have strong genetic strength rating. They all have strong strength of race. They've all been winning. But I do think the 4 could be dangerous. Perez rides, probably going to be aggressive from the bell and is taking a drop in strength of race. I like when the long shot matches with the strongest strength of race. That's a good combo. Usually can get a good price, and they run well. Race 9, I am 8, 5, 2. The 4 would be a vulnerable favorite. Source is going to take action, but I don't think has to win this race. But not strong opinion here. But I do think you can beat the 4. Thought Evanora was nice at a price. But the 8, Sweet Dream Lady, not the greatest post, but it does have enough early speed. She could run them off their feet here for sure. It's a state bred allowance group. GSR is fine. You can see that from most of the group and fits from a strong strength of race. But 8-5-2, again, not super strong opinion there. Looks like a fairly competitive race. I always tell people if you don't like a horse, just cut him off the race in. Look, the 8 wins by 2 lengths. And it has speed dangerous, right? And gets to the lead here, even though the pace numbers are all kind of close between the 8 and 2. Dakota's little hour and taking a drop. I mean, that's a big drop. So should show speed with the apprentice. So the 2 could be dangerous, but I think you can beat the 4. And again, 8-5-2. And then the last with the scratches, I do think Excuses is going to be tough. That's my top pick, just 9-2 here. I think the 4 is running underneath. I think the picks have it. They're on the grass going 8. The rail is way out, but it's not a big field. So, even as long as you're close to the pace here, that's what I worry about the 4. I'm not sure that there's enough speed here for this horse to come back. I think one of the forwardly placed runners wins it, Excuses or Swamp Box. Yeah. As we talked about, I think, the 9, you might get an okay price, but this horse probably take a lot of action. You'll see there the 2 ones on the race soon. All right, y'all. That's all we got for today. And I mentioned, if you just joined, I have a little grid. If you didn't catch all of them, I will tweet it out right now, right on the top of this video. I appreciate y'all joining. We'll be back tomorrow. We got mandatory Monday at Gulfstream. But, yeah, I'd say, again, as I talked about in the beginning, press your opinion today. I don't think you need to go crazy spreading in races. Play some more narrow horizontal and verticals. All right, y'all. Chat soon.